this weekend was getting tons of text messages and messaging with you about the Jeff Bezos Lauren Sanchez wedding. And really quick, I just want to, before we get into the details of this, I want to show picture number 8, please, because this is important for our audience. Can you see? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this is Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos, their official photo. So I don't know if we can zoom in. We maybe can't, but I need you to look at this carpet and those chairs, because this carpet looks like the carpet of like my neighbor's basement where our kids play. Yeah, thank you so much for zooming in. It's
Thank
important to
you.
me. I appreciate it. This, I don't understand if
It's
you
giving
have,
Staples.
yes,
Like,
staples. I don't understand if you have $50 million to spend on a wedding, and this is where we land with that chair, that bouquet, and a carpet that looks like I picked it up at Home Depot on the way home. Um, Miranda,
the
I said
chair.
I said to a friend today that we can't negate why socialism's popularity is on the rise when people are spending $50 million on weddings like this and the most like egregious over the top displays of gratuitous wealth like ever. And the era of, I guess, quiet luxury is gone. Oh, just for an FYI, her dress took over 900 hours to complete and was designed by Dolce and Gabbana. The couple did ask guests to make charitable gifts to the city of Venice cultural heritage. They got married in Venice, Italy, and the people were not happy. What was your takeaway on all of this?
Oh boy. Those chairs look like they belonged on the patio of some like Studio City restaurant. Like they did not look like Italian wedding chairs for a billionaire. My one of my biggest takeaways was, wow, he's only marrying someone 5 years younger than him. There's only a 5 year age gap between them, which quite frankly was the most shocking thing of all. He could have married like a 22-year-old blow-up doll. And
Mm-hmm.
instead, he married a 55-year-old blow-up doll. So there is that. Um, and so props to him. Why is Sydney Sweeney at their wedding?
I
What,
know.
like, do they not have friends in their lives that they just had to close their eyes and just pick random people off IMDb to invite? It was very strange, the guest list. Like, I know that Lauren Sanchez is friends with the Kardashians. Seeing them there wasn't a surprise. Um, but Sydney Sweeney, that was a weird one.
It was like the Kardashians, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Orlando
Um,
Bloom, when Katy Perry is the one that went to space with Lauren Sanchez, but they're going through their divorce or whatever. So,
and then Oprah and Gail, because God forbid Oprah and Gail are not present at every single thing that has ever happened. I gotta tell you, I used to really like Gail King. I thought I don't know, I just liked her commentary and I thought she was interesting. And I cannot tell you how much I don't like Gail King now. I just
yeah,
think she's like the most elitist, like sort of out of touch. Calling herself an astronaut is deeply insulting to people who have gone to astronaut school and work at NASA.
this
Um,
astronaut thing they're never going to outrun these astronaut
But I
stories.
I agree
Like,
with what you're saying. Like, it reminded me of like Meghan Markle's wedding when there was like, why is George Clooney here? Like, why are the Beckhams here?
yeah,
Like, are they friends with them? Like, they just sort of invite celebrities to show that you can. And what's so weird to me is like, if I had $50 million to spend on a wedding, first of all, I would never spend $50 million on a wedding. It's just not. It seems just like again like a gratuitous waste of money. Even if I could, I wouldn't. I swear, I would not. I do not have $50 million to spend on anything. I don't have $50 million. But the thing I don't understand is in this era again where there's a mayoral candidate, and we're going to get into this, whose entire message is like socialism is the best. And he literally said in an interview this weekend, I do not believe billionaires should exist. There is a definite populist uprising happening on the left that we should pay very close attention to in the same way that we've always paid very close attention to the populist uprising happening here on the right, or on my side on the right. The thing I don't understand is if we're in this moment in particular where there is just a lot of anger about billionaires from the perception of this side not paying their fair share in taxes, not giving back the way they should, sort of bucking the system. I'm gonna mess this up, but I think it's like a family of five that makes over $300,000 a year pays the same amount of taxes as a Jeff Bezos. Like, there's definite like tax thresholds that they can skirt and hide from. And again, I'm not like an anti-billionaire person. We're gonna get into this, but it's just weird to me in this moment that you're like, screw it. I'm going to have the most ridiculous, gaudy, over the top, celebrity filled wedding in a city that I have no relationship to, that I have no like memory of, I'm not from. And we're going to like screw up this city for a period of time and then show the entire world how much money we have and how much money you don't. And my favorite thing was seeing on social media all the private planes. It was like over 100 private planes flying into Venice and flying out. And I'm so conscious of, and again, I'm not like, I just am aware of my privilege in the sense that like, I don't have to worry about paying for groceries. My husband and I are both gainfully employed. I don't have to worry about paying for insurance. Like I come from a place of privilege, but I'm always very cogent about like the things I do and say. So I don't understand why Jeff Bezos isn't more concerned about that. And my final thing I want to ask you, I'm not forgetting when we covered the story of the Amazon workers having to urinate in bottles of water, like water
Mm-hmm.
bottles, on their conveyor belt and not getting breaks and sleeping in tents outside their Amazon factories because they didn't have time to go home and come back because they weren't getting breaks. So, like, at the same time, you're not paying your workers probably a fair wage and they're having to urinate in water bottles on while working at your facilities. Like, then you're going to throw this wedding?
Yeah, they're on timers because if they don't meet their quotas, they get docked or, they miss certain perks and then they get in trouble and they get eventually fired if they don't meet their quotas of, 200 units an hour or whatever. So they're, using jugs at their stations to go to the bathroom. But, Jeff Bezos has all the time in the world to fly a helicopter from his billion-dollar wedding to his $500 million super yacht parked outside of Venice in the canals. It's crazy.
He
Um,
also, I don't know if you saw, they had a foam party on their yacht like the day before they got married, which I didn't even know
People
foam
were
parties.
pissed.
Well, and
Yeah,
also just again, geopolitically, you are within a few hundred miles of where bombs are being dropped, like, or maybe, excuse me, a few thousand miles of where bombs are being dropped. And it's like, there's just no social awareness, no like awareness of what's going on culturally, socially, what's going on in the world. Like, I just I don't know. It's just a recipe for why socialism is on the rise.
also
Because if
like
you don't, go ahead.
50-year-olds having foam parties is kind
I
of
know,
weird.
I know,
Like it just
disgusting.
that's an aside, but yeah.
And I
I
want to
thought
just
I thought
preface,
college kids did that.
I'm not mad at rich people, like especially people who've like made their own way and like created things that we all need. And like me personally, I love Amazon Prime, especially if you have kids. Like sometimes you need that toy, you need that like children's Tylenol, you need whatever. Like I'm not anti Amazon. I just don't think I understand the optics of throwing a wedding like this in this specific moment in time. Not understanding again where so many people's anger is just blooming and blooming and blooming and getting bigger and bigger, and they're coming for specifically Jeff Bezos. So
Mhm.
I don't know. And again, I also think that just on like on a just taste level, I got married here in Sedona when I got married because this is where I'm from and it's where I love. You got married in California because where you're from and where you love. I don't understand why you're just like, I'm gonna get married in Venice for no reason at all except to show that I can literally shut the goddamn city of Venice down because I have so much money. It just seems impersonal and tacky and all that money and no taste. All that money and no taste.